Hey everybody, Pastor K here. It's Freedom Friday and your Morning Minute is up next. Today's scripture comes from Matthew 22, verses 37 to 39. Jesus replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself." In this passage, the disciples were asking Jesus which of the commandments from Moses' law was the most important or the greatest commandment. And so Jesus replies and tells them that the greatest commandment is, of course, to first love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. It is so important that we give God our all just as much as he loves us. It is so important for us to love God just as equally as he loves us. And we need to be loving God with all of us, with everything that we have, with all our heart, all our mind, all our soul. We need to be loving God. And then the second part of that, Jesus says, he said, there's a second commandment that is just as equally important, and that is to love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is so important, especially today, that we love our neighbor as we love ourselves. And I think I've spoken on this before. We talk about, well, who is my neighbor? And, it's not necessarily someone that lives next door to you or someone that lives across the street or on your block. Your neighbor can be your coworker. Your neighbor can be someone in your school, your classmate, someone in your class. Your neighbor, is definitely someone in your church. But your neighbor may not even be someone that you know on a personal level. And that's the important thing. It's easy to love our family. It's easy to love someone that's familiar to us, your best friend. It's easy to love those people, but it's important for us to love those that maybe we don't have a close relationship with. That's where the true love comes, is loving someone that you pass by out in the street, loving a coworker, loving someone that may not be as desirable or lovable as we think. That's where the true test of being a kingdom citizen, that's the true test of our faith, is when we can love someone that we don't necessarily have a personal relationship with. And I know Jesus also talks about loving your enemies, and sure, that's another challenge, is to love someone that is literally going against us. But even to love someone, again, that we don't necessarily spend a lot of time with, or something like that. Loving someone that you just met, or loving someone again in the street, something like that. Like, those are the things that we need to see. Those are our neighbors. And see, the two go together. We cannot say that we love God and then we don't treat others, with that same love and compassion. So we cannot truly love God with all of our heart, all our mind, all our soul, and we're not loving our neighbors. All right. So you're free today to love your neighbor on this Freedom Friday. You are free today to love. Okay, this is a commandment to love. And so we are obligated to it. We must love our neighbor. And again, I'm not talking about someone on your block, your next door neighbor, someone across the street. I'm talking about someone that, you don't necessarily know all like that. You know what I mean? Someone that isn't in your personal circle. How about that? How about loving someone outside of your circle? We get our circle, we get our cliques, and everybody in that circle and clique, I love them, this is my crew. But how about someone outside of your crew? How about someone outside of your circle? Show that love today. Someone needs it today. So show that love today on this Freedom Friday. All right, guys, that's it. Have a great Friday, a blessed weekend on purpose, guys. Talk to you soon.